Hello, friends. After a long day, long day of reading the patch notes on stream and collectively grieving with everybody there, I would like to share with you guys my preliminary thoughts, at least. The patch notes were, what, 17,000 words long or something crazy. Took 4 hours to read through it. And it's still going to take a long time for us to digest all of the consequences of that. And really, I think that until we play the game, we just don't know what it's going to feel like. Our damage numbers, everything across the board is cut down, cut to pieces. Things will be different. Until we play the game, we just can't know. We can make our best guesses, and I would like to share those with you guys. I want to let you know. All right, to respect your guys' time, we're going to try to keep this video short and sweet, and I'm just going to go through these things really quickly. Already created the tier list, so let's do it. So for anyone that has seen the patch notes, we know that ailment avoidance is a big thing that GGG is trying to cut back and address. So any avoidance that is still remaining on that tree is going to be very valuable. And that is why I am valuing Pathfinder, Raider, Saboteur, and Occultist, not just because they are all already very strong, but because each one of them still has incredible ailment avoidance. On top of that, Pathfinder, with all of the flask changes, she can take advantage, or rather the downsides of all the flask rework that's been happening. Raider barely got a slap on the wrist. Honestly, most Raider builds are probably still okay. Well, not the mana stacking or poison ones, but all of the other ones are probably really strong. Honestly, I think Ellie hit Raider is going to be like 90% as strong. To the other classes, everyone's damage did get cut down significantly, but relative to everyone else, she is still going to be almost as strong. Saboteur, I think he has been significantly underplayed for a long time now. He's just been one of the best Ascendencies in the game. He's going to be in the spotlight. Like, everyone's going to be looking at Traps and Mines now, and he is going to absolutely be in the spotlight coming up. Occultist, she has always just been a solid go-to, especially as a league starter with cold damage over time. Cold damage over time did get hit pretty hard with hypothermia and bone chill getting nerfed, but she's still really good in a bunch of other ways. I would prefer to play her as a chaos build. That's what I would do. And being able to just get stun immunity alone is really good. Being able to go through hexproof is really good. And if you do a cold build with her, you can get chill and freeze immunity, which is incredible. A tier Trickster he's still just really tanky, really nice. He didn't get nerfed at all. He's just where he was. So, he was not particularly strong last league, but he didn't get nerfed at all. So he's still just where he was. He's nice and fine. Slayer got... all they did was rename some of his nodes. People were joking in chat a lot that unplayable, blah, blah, because they renamed his nodes. Untouched. In my opinion, Slayer is actually like an SS++ tier Ascendancy, but in the realm of 3+15, I'm just going to put him down in A. And then Necromancer, she's just really tanky, really nice. Playing minion builds especially is incredibly defensive, and it's going to get around a lot of the downsides that we're going to have to deal with this league. In B tier, I'm going to put Gladiator, Champion, Guardian, and Assassin. They're all still kind of fine. Gladiator didn't really get hurt at all. I think he may be A tier, but just because he's not mega strong, I'm just going to leave him down in B tier. But he's just really nice. I actually really like Gladiator. It's one of my favorite Ascendancies. And I think he's just in a really good place. Might be a sleeper pick that you would want to consider if you want to play something maybe a little off meta, but still really nice. The bleed, don't sleep on bleed pops, and his retaliation stuff is really nice. Champion got a little hurt. He got a little hurt with all the Fortify and Impale nerfs. We're going to see how he works out. Honestly, all of those things were so strong that I think he will still be playable and will still be nice. But, you're not going to be doing some, face tank Syrah stuff as much anymore. Guardian, I really think, is kind of a sleeper Ascendancy. Minions, I think, are just really good. He's not really fast, but especially Guardian and the nodes around Templar, you will be able to get 100% reduced effective curses, and you don't even have to worry about rolling curses or worrying about a curse flask or anything. The Guardian might be a little bit of a sleeper pick this league. And then Assassin, he got nerfed for poison stuff, but they didn't touch anything else. And because of all of the crit nerfs, like on Sulfur Flasks, Bottled Faith, all of that type of stuff, he will be the go-to for playing a crit-based build. Like, they want Assassin to be the crit guy, and he is definitely the crit guy now. It's going to be very difficult to cap your crit on other Ascendancies without really, really good gear. Now in the C tier, so also I truly believe that no Ascendancy is D tier. C tier is still totally fine. You can make good builds. Nothing in this game is dumpstered. We can still make almost everything work. And that was the purpose of the patch notes. And I think they did well. Some things may be overcorrected, but at the least, I think we have the potential for build diversity, which is very cool. We have Juggernaut, Chieftain. There's still, Juggernaut, he can be a tanky, slow guy. Hoag Jug might still be just, if you want to play something defensive, tanky, you can kill bosses, he's your man. Chieftain, he's fine. They didn't touch him. He's fine. That's all I can say. So Inquisitor, he got a little hurt. The nerfs to Consecrated Ground, the nerfs to ailment stuff. And yeah, he's gonna be fine. He'll be fine, but he's not as strong as he was. He was a big boy in the past. Berserker, I just am not impressed with Berserker. I don't like the changes they made to him last league. And honestly, he's probably the one guy I would put down in D tier. Like, I absolutely know. And the hurt to self chill, the cold conduction in medium cluster jewels has now been destroyed. They nuked it from orbit. It is removed from the game, and for all intents and purposes, no one will ever do cold conduction ever again on purpose. I stand by that. It's just a bad node. Without self chill, you're not going to do any self chill Frostblades, Berserkers. Those shenanigans are gone. Berserker's down here, in my opinion. Like, I just don't see a reason to play him, honestly. People are going to find ways to make builds. He will be fine. D is still playable. He's not Omega Lol. Deadeye, Deadeye, you could put Deadeye up in B. You really could put her up in B. And now that I'm sitting here looking at it, I would put her in B. You can just get really good damage. She is so versatile with the +2 proj and the Mirage Archer stuff. Don't sleep on Mirage Archer. Also, focal points with the 75% increased effective curse. Now, here's the thing. With all of the nerfs to critical strike chance, getting 75% increased effect on anomalous Assassin's Mark will give you can cap your crit really, really easily with a Deadeye with focal points. That just came to me right now, actually. That's going to be nutty. That's actually going to be really, really good. The +2 proj, the Mirage Archers, the Far Shot, she's just really good. The Barrage not spreading. She's a really good Ascendancy. I'm putting her in B. Hierophant, so like the main way people were playing Hierophant was with doing the mana stacking, right? If you read those patch notes, press Control F, type mana, type arcane, and look at the nerfs. Like, it was nerfed in, like, not even exaggerate. Like, I'm trying to think of actual discrete numbers. We're talking 20 plus nerfs to mana stacking. If you go really, really, really hard investing in it, you can probably still be very powerful and very good, but it's more like an aura bot, or like an aura stacker, where you have to really make sure you're investing in that build. You can't just get your mind over matter and be good. So he's also, so you can play totems with him, you can play brands with him, but honestly, I would probably play brands on another Ascendancy. And so he's good. He's like just good for totems, or if you want to put a lot of money into him. Elementalist, she's still fine. I just they double nerfed primordial stuff, and I think one of the nerfs would have been okay. People will find ways to use it, but I just don't see a compelling reason for it anymore. She is still going to be really good if you just go pure Mastermind of Discord, one of the Shapers, and Bastion of Elements. So she will still be fine, but she's just not going to be, you're not going to see all the Golem shenanigans. So I don't think we're going to see a ton of Elementalists this league, but I could be, can always be wrong. And then Ascendant, I just don't know Ascendant very well. So also, as I said, these are all my bias towards what I would like to play as well. So this kind of just lines up with my preferences for what I like. But this is also me putting on what I think is going to be strong going into the league. I try to put everything that I think will be reasonable on this list. So it's basically, I think all of these would be good for a league starter. And then I sorted it by what I would like to play. So Caustic Arrow, Toxic Rain, it barely got touched. Now, remember, everything got nerfed. In fact, I drew this on stream. So for example, if Toxic Rain in 3.14 was this strong and everything else was this strong, like if they were even, right? If this was everyone at 100% strength last league, Toxic Rain, everyone got cut down, right? Toxic Rain, would go down to like 70% and everyone else would go down to like 40%, right? So relative to all the other builds, Toxic Rain is, and honestly, Toxic Rain was like up here, to be honest, in terms of league starter and ease of getting going, right? So Toxic Rain is just, in my opinion, even more compelling as a league starter, which is, to me, is very interesting from how GGG does stuff. Like, I'm their choice, starting with Caustic Arrow, Toxic Rain, you cannot go wrong. I would pair it with, if you're a newer player, I would pair it with Trickster. If you are a bit more experienced or you want quality of life, I would do either a Pathfinder or a Raider. And also viable is a Deadeye. And if you're super crazy, you could even do it with an Occultist. Can't go wrong. It's just really good. And honestly, with all the changes relative to everything else in the game, I think Toxic Rain got even stronger this league. I will probably still just be leveling all of my characters that are able to with Caustic Arrow, Toxic Rain. Also because I'm forced to, because you guys voted for it, is I will be starting minions with Summon Reaper and whatever else. I have to brainstorm what goes with her. Minions are just good, man. They barely got touched by the nerfs, at least, relative to everything else. They didn't, they just got kind of like slaps on the wrist here and there. They did get, I think it was the minion damage gem, did get 25% less life on the minions. That may be significant for some of the squishier ones, especially Spectres. But other than that, I think minions are going to be a really, really good league starter. Comfortable, easy play style, not super fast in any way, but also just smooth and tanky. And then the cast spells, I think they're just totally viable, very easy, smooth to play. Spellslinger is dead. Sorry, Ziz. I know we can't do that anymore. So you can do Hex Blast, you can do Bane, Soul Rend, ED Contagion. They're all totally fine. I think we're going to see a lot of ED Contagion, which is weird. Honestly, Bane is just better. ED is fine for single target, but Bane is better. Yo, pro tip, Bane is better. Don't play ED Contagion if you want something that feels a little bit better, in my opinion. Anyway, Cyclone is just fine. Impale got hurt, and to go with Cyclone, we do have the steal skills here. Let's scooch that over. Impale got hurt, and Fortify got hurt, but they're still going to be okay. I think I would just, especially for Cyclone, still go even harder towards Slayer than before. For the steal skills, Champion, Impale got hurt, but we got some other damage buffs from that. And I think we also can do some really cool stuff with some of the crafting now because they added some. I do like Poison. So I actually played a lot of Poison in 3.14. I will be coming out with a video on that at some point when I have time, but this week has been insane. It is on the back burner, unfortunately. But Poison skills are really, really good, especially moving forward. Poison skills are just really nice, and especially on Pathfinder, all of the proliferation and all of that feels incredible. The way that it works, the way that I would list them is Cobra Lash is the really nice balanced one. Good single target, good clear, not amazing at each. Venom Gyre has pretty bad single target damage, but it's incredible for map clear. It absolutely it destroys the entire screen. Venom Gyre will clear with anything, and then you can just gem swap Cobra Lash. And if you really want to min-max single target, you can put in Viper Strike, and you can actually get really decent, like easily over 6 to 10 million DPS on Cirrus if you have a really optimized. After that, Cold Dot stuff. This one is a little bit of a question. This is down here. This is like between B and C. This is a question mark for me. Hypothermia and Bone Chill getting hurt really bad really puts a question mark on it for me. It'll be okay. You can make it work, but I think it might become pretty uncomfortable when you get to like late red maps and bosses. I found the playstyle already a little uncomfortable in 3.14. And it's going to get worse. You can't do Cold Slinger anymore. Well, not easily. So Creeping Frost is kind of Vortex and Cold Snap with especially the nerfs to Hypothermia and Bone Chill. They're not going to see, we're not going to be using those gems as much anymore. Cold Dot's a big question mark, but I think it might be okay at least to get to red maps and then have a plan to get out of that. Totems are just always really good league starters. I think totems are pretty crazy. So you can do Freezing Pulse totems are incredible. Don't sleep on those. They're very, very good. I just realized that I had missed one of them. We have Mines and Traps. I'm going to put Mines and Traps in the S tier. I'm not sure they're actually S tier. I am just pushing them up there because it is my personal preference that I would like to play something that I haven't before. And both the new traps in general, and mines. I've played mines a little bit, but I wouldn't mind revisiting them. It is kind of appealing looking to me. So mines and traps, I think, are going to be played a lot. They're probably actually A tier in terms of like what I think it's going to feel like playing. But I'm going to put it in S tier for my interest in playing it as well. The one caveat that I'm going to say for all of this stuff is do be aware of what other content creators are doing for recommending builds. You're going to be seeing a lot of League starter guides coming out there. I want to warn you guys that as we saw with Burning Arrow Elementalist, when a lot of people jump into builds, the price goes crazy. So be very careful what other people recommended. Look at this big, like I'm trying to give you guys like everything you can potentially play. If you're scared of things getting too expensive, or if you're like, don't be afraid for like, if a build is okay without really investing into it, that's really good. And then you can scale it later when you have currency. But if there's a build that like you really need certain uniques and it might be popular, something that maybe uses like cold iron points, or you know, something like a Zoph's Blood or, you know, Zoph's Nurture or something, right? Be very careful. Be very careful about early league prices. You might get burned. So be careful about content creators recommending, like a bunch of them recommending the same build, because the prices might get crazy. Now down here, these are things that I think will still be okay. Blade Fall, BFBB may actually be a little bit better as BVBB now. That is really hard to say because of the changes to Blade Blast's interaction with Blade Vortex. It's always interacted with it, but they did buff it, and it is a little bit better. I don't like playing Blade Vortex. I think it's kind of clunky, and especially with the new reduced AoE, it's really, really clunky. But, you know, if you really like that Blade Blast feeling, it might be for you. And then because of the changes to ailments, I think Bleed is still, and the way that certain Ascendencies look, especially Deadeye and Gladiator for bleeds, I think Bleed stuff early might be a sleeper. Do consider, if you're interested in doing maybe potentially an off-meta League starter that is still really strong, look into Bleed stuff. Look into doing something with Bleed stuff. I think there's a lot of potential there. All right, so what am I thinking of for farming? Well, here's the interesting stuff. I think Betrayal is still going to be okay. The changes to Ashling are not that bad. It just puts us into a 50-50. It says that she will now respect meta mods, so we can do something like suffixes cannot be changed. We do a 50-50, and we hope that Ashling removes not the other good mod, the other good prefix, but the crafted suffixes cannot be changed. So it's just a 50-50. It's going to be annoying. It's going to cost people a lot of currency, but I still think Ashling Slams will be at least 2 to 3 exalts. People are claiming that she's not going to be worth a ton. Now, I do think this is more later league, but honestly, I think Betrayal, if you want to farm like Scarabs or Elrion jewelry especially, is going to be worth a lot. Elrion jewelry is going to be a lot. Buy a lot of Kalandra's craft prophecies and use them before you talk to Elrion in a Betrayal. Get those 4 Elrion rings and make a lot of currency. They will sell for a lot early. So don't sleep on Betrayal. I think Ashling may start very, very cheap. So don't try to farm her early unless the prices for some reason are high. But after week 2, week 3, and then week 4, I really think she's going to go up to multiple exalts for an Ashling Slam again. Now, Heist, I think it's just going to be better. It's just going to be even better. Heist was already a gigantic moneymaker. I made literally hundreds of exalts this league doing Heist. And because it is both harder to get because it's not on the map device, that means we get more reward for investing in it and being able to do it because there are fewer people competing with us, supply and demand. And I think the demand will go way higher because the Awakened gems got nerfed enough such that I think a lot of alternate quality gems that people weren't really using are going to be used more. So Unusual Gems Blueprints alone might sell for a ton. Heist, I think, is like S+ tier. I think this might be just like S++++ tier. That's where I'm going to put Heist. In A tier, I'm going to put Essences just because they're so easy to farm. I think we're going to be leaning even more on Essence Crafting than 3.14, just by a little bit. And it's just so easy in Haywork. There's no reason not to. Ritual bases early. This early league especially, and what by early, I mean the whole first month. Level 86 Blizzard Crowns especially are going to sell for a lot, and as they have been in the past. And because Ritual is on the map device, it's going to be a lot easier to get them. So look for those +1 monster level watchstones that you can put in your Atlas, so you can get item level 86 Ritual bases. Harvest is just still good. It's still good. I think Fracture, because of the way that crafting works now, I think fracturing is going to be worth even more. So in 3.14, fracturing could sell fracture 3 suffix or 3 prefix, sold for 10 exalts each, 8 to 10x, the whole league. And I think it's going to be the same or higher this league. Item level 86 Abyss bases. This is only early. So this is only early league. So at the very beginning, when people still want those eye level 86 bases for crafting, even just things like Astral Plates, Vol Regalia, stuff like that, these will sell for multiple exalts early. So what you can do is you can go to Turn's End, you get the Abyss nodes, and you get those +3 monster level Abyss bases. Very, very good. Legion is just always good. Beginning of the league, people want to power level to 100 to win the ladder, to be the #1 Pathfinder on the server, all that stuff. And all through the league, people want to get their levels. Legion emblems will be worth a lot the entire league. So this is one of my favorite ways to farm the game, period. And go down to New Vestir, make yourself a ton of money. And then Blight's still just good currency. Nothing changed relative to Blight. And in fact, golden oils, I think for doing certain anointments that people weren't using before, might be used even more, because like Awaken Hex Touch lost +1 curse, and now people might want Whispers of Doom so they can get +1 curse back. There might be a lot more additional uses of the oils, like the more expensive ones. I'm not going to say a lot about the rest of these. Incursion is just, you're probably going to still be able to sell double corrupts later on in the league for a couple exalts. Early on in the league, you can sell the nice oils, or sorry, the vials, or temple bases that have, the Puarte mod on gloves, stuff like that. Those are going to still sell for really, really nicely. Delirium is back on the map device, and it's just always decent, Delirium drops so much stuff, and you can sell cluster jewels, you can sell scarabs, whatever it gives you, really, really good. And I think simulacrums, they still, even worst case, they sell half an exalt each. It's just more currency, why not? I put deep delving in here. If you're a deep delver, deep delving can be S tier if you're good at it. You can make a lot of currency, right? It's just not something that I am interested in engaging in. They didn't say anything about delve changing. Very sad about that. I do like delve. I wish it got more love. But if you like deep delving, you can go down there, sell bulk resonators, make bunch of exalts. But shallow delving is like F tier, unfortunately. And then breach farming, I just don't think there's too much value in that. I was thinking about maybe breach uniques. Early league, early league, if you can get in there, get some breach uniques, you can sell it. But if you're not getting there really, really early, I think, at even D tier though, these are all, that's a viable thing. That you can still make decent currency. And, who knows, maybe Chayula Piers are worth a little bit more this league just because people, are sick of 5 ways or something. Who knows? So do watch that. The Breach versus Legion, these are the 2 ways, like people that power level to 100. Just look at what the meta is this league, is what I would recommend. Beast farming, people are still multi-boxing it. Sorry, GGG, but people are still multi-boxing it. That's where beast farming is. Unless you go all the way in and like really, really go hard doing it and like automate all that beast farming, doing sketchy things, I just don't think it's worth the effort. Like you're gonna kill your wrist, especially selling yellow beasts. It's a lot of clicking. I just don't like doing it. I don't recommend it. And then metamorph, very, 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 very early, especially catalysts are valuable. The amount of effort that you have to put into farming it versus other things, I just put it down here. You can still make currency doing it, but I just don't think it's worth it. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in and getting my thoughts on 3.15. Remember, we're here to just have fun playing the game, and I'm really, really excited about 3.15. What I've been telling people is every single patch is like a new game. What we have to do is forget 3.14 was its own patch. 3.15 is like playing a new thing. Pretend we're playing PoE 2. Pretend that 3.16 is going to be PoE 3. Don't try to compare yourself, the way that you worked in the previous league. Just take that game knowledge that you've acquired, look at the new patch as a new problem to solve, a new system to interact with, and see how we can get the most fun out of it. And I'm really excited about it. The new skill gems look awesome. And I'm really curious how I adapt to all these changes because it is really big. Anyway, Summon Reaper will be played on Friday, so tune in to the Twitch stream to check that. And yeah, thank you once again, guys. And if you want to see more videos like that and see how this league goes, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. I would like to give a special shout out to my patrons: Tricky Nick, Amarius, Bifrost50, Mark Hahn, Nafin L, Rentner, The Wrong Thing, Aaron White, Colin, Xferdidius, Gazer1990, Michael Rack, Mr. Doubleina, Nikolai, Sixlink Andrew, and Whoop. If you'd like to get your name in the credits of my videos and some other cool things, head over to patreon.com/subtractem. Thank you.